Hello, my lovable human beings and people who like stunts. Purple Boy here, actually using his mic because he just woke up and told to himself, you know what, I want to try something different. Now, I know a lot of you, even before reading the comments, are going to be completely devastated and really sad. And all I can say is I am sorry for not being 14 or sounding like a 14-year-old. Now, today we're going to be analyzing forZA lobbies because I just can't wait to go on Horizon Online and not have any problems. The way we're going to be doing this is we're going to be analyzing the three most important classes of forZA, which would be A, S1, and S2. We're going to be starting off with A because we're in an S1 car and we don't want to be in the same class of car as the class we're searching for. Otherwise, you're just going to be driving an asphalt car in a rally race, which is not good. So let's see what we get. Alright, we found a game. Now, which car am I going to drive? Asphalt only. The hardest part for me is always picking the car, honestly. I have so many to pick from. No. Renault 5 Turbo. Okay, I like this car, and the reason I picked this car as well is because it's a decent all-rounder car. It's not the quickest, but it's not the slowest, it's not the easiest, but it's not the hardest to control. So let's see how a pretty average car performs in a perfectly average online lobby. Okay, we're going to be driving to the event now so that we can... Jesus Christ. That's a V12, I'm pretty sure. And the forZA Aero as well. I wonder, does that Aston Martin come with a V12 stock? Because to be honest, I don't really know much about modern Aston Martins. So I don't know if he engine swapped the V12 into an A-class Aston Martin. That would be a bit, how should I put it? Sad. Okay, we're almost there at the event and it seems we found a Holden. Yeah, that's a Holden Tirana. Oh, Christ almighty, did he just spin out from that? Well then, forZA everyone. Okay, it seems our first track will be the highway circuit, or as I like to call it, Bootleg Laguna Seca. Because there is a part on this circuit which looks exactly like the corkscrew, and you can't tell me otherwise. We got pole position, so let's try to make a good use of that. There's that Aston Martin behind us. We'll try not to get overtaken on this straight. We'll probably will be. Jesus, that's a fast Fiat. I doubt that has a stock engine, but whatever. Somehow keeping the lead on this first straight. Here comes the corner. This thing does corner like a beauty though. I wonder if they died in this corner. We're somehow keeping the lead. Yep, they're all dying. Amazing. I think forZA players just have this like magical ability called dying on the first corner every single time. Or just dying on anything that isn't a straight, honestly. And that's, yeah, as you can see, that's what we're finding in this lobby. And that's what you will find in most lobbies, actually. And here's the corkscrew I was talking about. The trickiest part of the course, but then again, the rest of the course is just easy corners and then a long straight. So there's not many challenging parts for this track. They keep dying every single corner. It's not just the first one, actually. But then again, they're magically catching up. Yep, this Fiat is, yeah. That's a BMW inline 6, if I'm not wrong. Look at all that tire smoke. He can barely keep the car under control in the straight. Look at him go wide in the corners. Trying to drift because he doesn't have tires to grip. See, this is honestly the downside of A-class. It's the most fun class, as in you have the most variety. You can pick rear-wheel drive, you can pick all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive. Is only effective up until A-class. But then there's also those people who just build their cars full of power and nothing else. So what you're getting is people just mashing their throttle on the straights and wall riding every single corner. Because that takes skill and it's fun to win, right? Quite honestly, I don't really get the point of winning if you're not gonna feel proud of it. And there he goes again, just flying in that straight. You saw him mess up in all of those corners, and he's not gonna get punished for it because he's just gonna keep flying away, so whatever. It's not like I really care though. I mean, did he actually just... Hold on, did he actually just smash his car against that piece of the wall on a straight. Easy. There we go. A little bit of a nudge, but he didn't really get out of... I mean, his car was already out of control. There he goes again. See, he can afford to screw up as much as he wants. He's going to win anyways. And guess what? This guy is also a max level. Because one thing I've come to realize from all the A-class lobbies I've been in, and just all of the class lobbies actually I've been in, is most max levels are just going to be running really overpowered cars because they just don't even care anymore. And because of that, most max levels aren't really that good of a player, or people rather. He did break though, that was unusual. Most people usually just ram me at that point. I don't think we can win this though. He's got the straight line speed, yeah, he's just going to win. Nani? Nani? Honorable driving technique? Shut up, bird. Well, I know I came here to record the average forZA lobby, but I guarantee you, this is far from average. What a legend. I thought he was a rude driver because all he was doing was just speeding up, and he's a max level as well, but no. Oh god, the lobby's full of max levels now. So let's try cutting... Oh. Hello, Mother Nature, how are you? Yeah, I don't really cut the corners much, honestly, but since we're on the clock here, we might as well. So just so that we can get to the event faster than anyone, or at least fast enough. Getting through all of these trees is really stressing though. Like, really stressing. As you can see, you can just hit one really easily because you hit a bad bump and you can't control your car. There's a max level. Yeah, all the max levels are, I think they're going to change our racing experience. Now, I was planning on only doing one race per class, but since that first race was so unusual, I think we might as well try a new one. And the good guy left, the Fiat left. Oh well. And now we have a Dart Hemi. Now, if you're new to forZA, you might, or not have the game actually, you might not know what that means, but if you play forZA, you know that pretty much anyone who uses a Dart Hemi should be using it in a drag race instead. Because it's the fastest drag car in here. Not that it's not fast anywhere else though, even in A class. I bet you this guy is going to be running forZA Aero, probably all-wheel drive swap, maybe V12 swap. I don't think you can get a V12 in A class with that car. But if not, he's just going to have the V8 anyways, so probably still going to have a lot more horsepower than I will, or anyone here actually. Oh god, and to make things worse, it's a sprint race. I guess this will be an appropriate take 2 of the A-class lobby review. We're in first place though, that's nice, but yeah. Sprint races with this car don't really go well, because those usually have a lot of straights, and this car doesn't handle as you're about to see. Well, it does handle, but it doesn't handle itself well on straights, because it has no top speed. And there goes, yeah, there goes that Dart. And this Porsche Macan for some reason. I mean, I say for some reason. I'm not really surprised. I mean, he's running forZA Aero, probably engine swapped it, I don't know. I don't know much about the Porsche Macan or its engine swap options. I think it's all-wheel drive stock, pretty sure it is actually, so it's naturally going to be a really strong... Yeah, and there goes the Ferrari as well. It's naturally going to be a really strong car in A-class. But as you can see, we can't really catch up. Watch them all die in this corner, by the way. Yep. The Macan and the Ferrari just died in the corner. So much for that forZA Aero, huh? I mean, we're not going to win this one, but maybe we can get a good position. This Macan is dying a lot on the corners, so we're really catching up there, but not on the straights. No, not by any chance on the straights. Messed up that corner a little. Not more than he did, though, but if we didn't mess up, we could have overtaken him by now. Look at all that tire smoke. Like, you can tell his tires have a lot more power to put through than they can handle. So he's probably on stock tires or engine swap, something ridiculously strong. That was close, by the way. Yeah, watch him die again. I keep messing up these corners, I'm braking way too early. Yeah, we're not gonna catch up. There's no way we can catch up. Too many straights. I said I was messing up way too much on those corners. I mean, look at him though. He's messing up more than I am, but of course he has the speed to get away with that. I think that's why a lot of people, like a lot of good racers, just turn away from forZA. They all go to The Sims because if you mess up in The Sim, you're done for. You're gonna get punished for it. If you mess up in forZA, or most other arcade games, or simcades rather, you can get away with it sometimes. Unless it's Dirt Rally, but that's Dirt Rally, it's made to punish you. God, I just realized how salty I should sound right now, but trust me, I'm not. What I am, more than salty, is disappointed. You guys were expecting an A-Class review, this is it. A-Class is a class with a lot of potential, because like I said, anything is viable, or almost everything is viable in A-Class. But then there's people who just cheese A-Class because it has exploits. Mainly the big cause of A-Class boredom, I should say, or disappointment, are all-wheel drive swaps, engine swaps of course, forZA Aero most of the time, unless you really need it. Like, you get a lot of V8 Willys Jeeps, thanks to my main man, which I don't actually know, Don Joan Song. You get a lot of muscle cars, which are way more powerful than they should be. I'm tempted to say forZA has some sort of bias towards American muscle, just make them way stronger than they need to be. Either that, or it's just the way this map is built. Because Horizon 3 does have a lot of straights, compared to the other games. So, you do get rewarded a lot more for building a really uncontrollable, unbalanced mess of a car that only has power and nothing else. Which is basically how you ruin fun in A-Class. So you know, if you ever feel like winning an A-Class lobby, just pop on those all-wheel drive swaps, get a V8, because we don't want that respectable V6 in here. We need those V8s with really high power, more power than you can handle, or should handle. Don't forget stock tires, because control is not important and tires give way too much PI anyways, so who cares about building a respectable car? Just build a no-skill cannon, whatever. And yeah, that's it. That's a recipe for success. Don't forget forZA Aero so that you don't fly off in every single corner. Just most of them. And that's it for my in-depth analysis. I think that's what I'm going to call it. Hello, Reno5. My in-depth analysis of an A-Class lobby. I was going to do all 3 classes, but I just realized how long this video is probably going to be, so if you guys feel like wanting to watch more of these types of videos, where I just analyze lobbies using my mic, because I'm not sure how good this mic is for YouTube, to be honest. I just woke up and said to myself, you know what, I feel like recording a video where I actually talk. Even though my English in itself is not really perfect, I'd say it's far from it actually. I do stumble. I think stumble is the correct term. I do stumble upon my own words when I talk a lot. I just go, yeah, I can't talk. So yeah, I guess this will be it for today's video. How do you do an outro with a mic? Like, I don't know how to finish a video.